Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome to a special bit of iRacing here on Adrenaline Impact. It's Porsche 911 GT3 Cup cars. These Carrera Cup machines are heading to the Spa Francorchamps circuit in Belgium for an extra special race. I'm Max Palmer, and here to introduce you all to this rather unique series. Special place in my heart, these cars. A lot of my first memories of going to the racetrack and helping family, teams, and rest of it was working on Porsches. And even though admittedly I'm not the best Porsche driver in the world, it's nice to see these guys out there. So there we have it, circuit, the Spa Francorchamps, about 7 kilometers long, give or take, a little bit shorter in this particular guys right now. So absolutely brilliant scene down there. Nice beautiful weather, 22 degrees Celsius there, just the perfect time to go racing for the car. Now I do believe these are 997 or 991 cars. So I have to have a nice look at the rear end of those cars. I think it's a 991 car, yes. So this will be a 4-litre flat 6 engine, around about 600 horsepower, not a lot of aerodynamics. There's no front splitter, it's a perfectly flat floor, that means there's no diffuser unlike GT3 cars, and that high mounted rear wing, very unique style and touch that Porsche motorsport guys gave to give the car a very unique look, as you can see there. A very easy way to spot a Carrera Cup car from the rest of Porsche's sporting lineup. That's Tugu Jan Lei there. One of Malaysia's best racing drivers out there, going through the high-speed curves right now. Qualifying is on at the moment right now. It'll be a 40-minute race as they go through this. So far, the quickest man in practice is Iman Danish with a scintillating 2 minutes 20 seconds. It's easy to say that some of the best drivers in Asia are driving this evening. It'll be absolutely interesting to see how these guys go through there. Looks like Iman Danish might have had the fastest outlap, that's for sure. But most of the drivers out there are still on their outlaps right now.
Yeah, we've got a nice collection of drivers today. Yeah, full house. Interesting. I guess they love Spa. Nice.
Yeah, they must love the Porsches as well. I've heard a lot of comments on the SRE groups, social media, SRE being the biggest sim racing community here in Malaysia, and they seem to love GT3, the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car. So yeah, we've absolutely filled out Spa Francorchamps, which is fantastic news, especially considering what may be to come. It's very interesting to see, especially Tukujan Lei here driving the car around. He has, I believe, a little bit of history with the Porsche mark. He's driven a couple of Porsches in the past. Let's see if we can go on board with him for a lap of
this is his, I think this is his hot lap already. Let's see his time there.
Oh yeah, 2:24. So let's see if we can catch someone else up there.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's been discarded. This yeah, maybe it's off track. Let's go on somebody else. Let's go on over to let's see, Dominic. I think we have Dominic here.
Yep, Dominic on his way to the start of the lap there. Let's see if we can go hitch a ride on board with Dominic Ang right now. Coming down the main straight here, we have one of the most difficult first corners of all of motor racing, the La Source hairpin. Very hard braking zone, especially in these Porsche 911 cars. You have to really brake in a straight line with these cars there. They can be very unstable if you try and trail brake. Some drivers have reported success in doing it. Me, myself, I wouldn't recommend it for this particular car. Now coming up to the most famous corner in all of road racing, Eau Rouge, down the bottom through there, and then up through the top of Radion. Perfect line there from Dominic Ang coming onto the Camel Straight. You really need to nail Eau Rouge and Radion. And unlike in a Formula 1 car, it's not easy flat in these Porsches. You might have to give it quite a big lift in order to get the car through the corner there, but you need as much speed as possible to get to this braking zone here. So very difficult series of corners here. You're dancing between third and fourth gear. You're never quite sure which gear you should be in. And no matter what the gear ratios you pick, you always seem to be a little bit lost there. Now through the Brussels hairpin there. Now very difficult to try and keep the car in the inside there. Now through No Name, as it's known. the Belgians often refer to, the locals often refer to the corner as Signal. That's the beauty with Spa. It's been around for so long that a lot of these corners have colloquial names. Now going through Pouan here, it's very, very difficult. You must commit to the correct line on entry, otherwise you're going to be very, very wide there. Now coming up through Pit Path, this is Fanya's chicane, very, very difficult again. Third gear, very high speed compared to other tracks. This is perhaps one of the slowest parts of the circuit, believe it or not. Not counting the bus stop chicane there. Now through Campus and La Carrera, very, very difficult through here. Stavelo is the final right-hander before we go for the long drag down towards a Blanchimont. Very, very difficult to go underneath the DHL banner. Again, these cars don't have the downforce of a GT3 car. They don't have a downforce of a single-seater. They're going to have to lift just a little bit there, dropping perhaps 20 kilometers an hour in order to make it through Blanchimont, a real driver's corner in this sort of cars, before hard braking into the bus stop chicane. He goes a little bit wide there, sideways. He might still be able to salvage a respectable lap time, although his fight for pole position didn't quite work out there, but that was a very, very exciting slide there from Dominic Al. Meanwhile, Iman Danish, she's gone up to pole position there with 2:21, but that was a spectacular lap time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Fun fact, he's one of the guys that has really physically driven here, I think.
Yes, he has. And he's showing a little bit of that skill there. Perhaps left the braking a little bit too late. That's the thing. With these cars, it's very easy to get lulled into a sense of, oh yeah, we can take this like a GT3 car, because some corners you really can take like a GT3 car, but other places like the braking zone here, you've got to brake much earlier. Let's see how Muhaimin does it. Nice and perfect. You really do need to back up those braking zones, back up the turn in just a little bit in order to get a good speed around the apex. And of course, the engine in these particular cars are still in the standard position, which is all the way out the back, pretty much where the rear bumper is. So that's where the difficulty lies in trying to get a good lap time in these cars. But very interesting there. Muhaimin managing to get himself up into 7th place.
Yeah, let's go on over to I think we can look out for Hayden, a new guy here. Okay, he just started his lap. Hayden Haikal.
There we go, Hayden Haikal. He might be new to iRacing, but I'm sure he's, from memory, he has done quite a lot of things in other sims over the course of the last couple of years there. So he's definitely got a lot of talent and a lot of pace, that's for sure. Perhaps still getting to grips with one of the unique peculiarities of iRacing. He's gone a little bit wide out the exit there. I'm not too sure if that is going to count, unfortunately, but he's still going to go for that lap. Coming up to this braking zone here, again, you'll see him brake a lot earlier than you expect, much earlier than those tire lines there, and he turns in much earlier than you expect as well. And that's because there's not a lot of weight in the nose of these Porsches, and the fact that there's a little bit more downforce in the rear than on the front means this car, if you're not driving it properly, can understeer quite a bit. But if you do know how to work the front end, do know how to put the weight on the front end at just the right time, you can mitigate that. And of course, when you get on the throttle, you get that famous Porsche oversteer as well. So a very interesting car to drive, unlike anything else out there, but very, very easy car to drive. Fast if you know how to. It's just a case of, you'll see it here coming through Fanya's braking just before the Allianz board, where in a GT3 car you might brake a little bit further after. Again, around here you'd be doing about 150 kilometers an hour instead of 130 to 140 there in the GT3 Porsche. But in a Carrera Cup car, you just have to back it off just a little bit. But through this corner here, you'll see he's hard on the throttle. He throws it into the inside of the corner, and he's doing roughly what you would expect the GT3 car to do. So it's very, very difficult to sort of judge where this car comes out in relation to other GT cars that are popular to race here. Now coming up to the final corner here, the final few corners here, let's see what his lap time comes up to. Coming to the braking zone here, again, he'll be braking before the Bridgestone. No, actually a little bit further up. So has he left it a little bit late? Just about manages to make that apex there. Probably about as late as you want to brake in these things, but a very, very good job there from Hayden Heiko. Very, very smooth going through there. Let's see what his lap time comes up to. I think, yes, just because he ran wide at Radeon, so unfortunately that lap will count there, but I'm sure he's got a 2:21 in him.
Yeah, let's go over to Akib Basarum. Yeah, he's gonna start another lap after this.
So Akib Basaram's got a lot of... he's been around for quite a while in the sim racing world, a superbike rider in the NSF Superbike Championship as well, so a very well respected racing rider in real life. Quite a talented rider as well, but also quite adept at driving these four-wheeled things around in the sim racing world as well. So perhaps using some of his driving skill. As we know, bike riders tend to have fantastic sense of balance as well, and with these cars you really do need to be very focused on balance. Going through Eau Rouge and Radeon, perfect line through there. You don't want to take any curve on the exit of Radeon onto the Kelon Straight. That's the key. But it does mean that you have to take some curve in the corner preceding that. Coming to the braking zone here, he's actually doing quite well for himself there. Again, he throws the car in a little bit early. If you notice, Akid has a slightly different style to Hayden. When he comes into the first of a series of corners, or this hairpin, you'll see him turn in initially a little bit to introduce the car before he commits to the corner, and that's what he's trying to do there. He's trying to introduce the front of the car, introduce the front tires to turning before he loads them up with the full stress of turning. So a very interesting thing to see. We see a lot of racing drivers do that. Again, he's very gradual. He doesn't just turn immediately. He applies the lock very gradually there. Sort of a very classical driving style, but it does work well for Akib Basaram here. So let's see if he can improve on his lap time there. Again, nicely done through Fanus. Perhaps he just needs to find the courage or the belief in himself that he could push the car just a little bit faster than 2:24 he has now. Coming up towards Stavelot there, the beautiful, beautiful Ardennes forest just beyond. Coming down towards Blanchimont there. First part of Blanchimont absolutely flat out. Here is where you have to back off perhaps just a little bit. He's actually going much quicker than Dominic there, but he does go just a little bit wide through there, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes through this section here. He's gone fastest in the first and the fourth of these 5 sectors that we split the track up into. Let's see what he does coming across the line there. That's another 2:24, so he'll want to try and improve that, I'm sure.
Yeah, let's look at our mystery man. Oh, it's just finished. I was just about to show Ilham Halabi. But it's just, let's go on to the grid.
So there we have it. Before we leave you with the wonderful sound of these flat 6 engines roaring, let's have a quick look at the grid. Iman Danish in first position, followed by Saiful Arifin. Obakaki in third place. Suku Janle is in fourth place, followed by Shami Aizan, Dominic Ang, Chokfun Pang, Jazrin Jali, Mat Chapawi. Suku Izan Le, brother to Suku Janle, in 10th place. Mohaimin there is in 11th with Tung Hui Xiao in 12th. I do apologize if I...
Yeah, that's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Ruben Wong there in 13th with Hayden Haikal in 14th and Tamuz Yusuf 15th. Ayman Zubir in 16th place. Further down the field we have Mohammed Shukran, Mavinderjit Singh there. We've got Akid Basaram a little bit further behind there, Bobby Farid, Azra Nazli there, Calvin Ha a little bit further back than we would perhaps expect him to be there, Fairuz Fadzil, and I believe we have, as usual, Ilham Labi attempting a burn from the stern. That's going to be a very entertaining driver to watch out there. I think Fadlan's also chosen to start from the back, along with Hanazul there, Only Kui, and Pavinder Singh. We also have Ilyas Rabani in 25th place there, so it'll be interesting to see how he does in the race. So before I leave you with these wonderful cars, we'll take you through the first couple of corners here. as we're waiting for Chokfun Pang to load up, a couple of other drivers to pop in there. It's a little bit harder to fill in a full 30-car grid here at Spa, but it's absolutely wonderful to see that we've managed a full house right now. Tunghui Xiao, I believe, is a first-time driver, or perhaps one of the first.
We're gonna go on board.
Green flag, green flag.
Standing start.
See how it goes. Shami Aizan there takes away, of course, uniquely amongst GT cars. The Carrera Cup races are standing start races. Coming into the braking zone there, we see quite a lot of drama there. There's a 4 wide going through turn 1 there, and a couple of cars going all over the place there. The traditional spillover effect onto the outer apron at the exit of the source there, but it looks like there's not been that much damage done. Usually there's a bit of a pile-up coming to turn 1 there, but beautiful, beautiful, clean racing going on there. Meanwhile, Iman Danish is trying his hardest to run away from the rest of the field. All of the drivers behind him are bunched up very close together there. Taki, amazing performance for him to get up into second place. Shami Aizan, however, is trying to overtake coming into the inside there. That was the man we rode in on board with, coming into second place, managing to hold off Taki there. Taki's got a fantastic start, getting himself in third place. Saifa Arifin in fourth, Chapawi in fifth, Kujan in sixth, followed very closely by Ruben Wong. These two drivers considered teammates in the URT stable. Very, very quick drivers indeed. Very aggressive drivers as well. You can see there Tuku Janle is wasting no time in order to try and go around the outside of Saifa Arifin, but unfortunately just didn't have the momentum to try and get himself around the outside. There has to back off a little bit going through there. A couple of the cars running a little bit wide through Puan there. Very, very difficult conditions there. We see one car go completely wide there. That's quite normal in these cars when the tires are just a little bit cold and you know you have that tarmac runoff there. It's very tempting to just try and push your luck a little bit in this first lap. But, these guys won't have tire blankets. They won't have any sort of way to warm up their tires before the start of the race in any meaningful way. So now they're able to try and they need to sort of get this first lap right. They can't abuse the tires. They can't slide the cars around too much. But they do need to introduce quite a bit of temperature, especially to the front of the cars. Meanwhile, Iman Danish has only got a 2.6 second lead on Shame Aizan with Taki in third place. Iman Danish there well out front in the lead at the end of the first lap. That's a pretty good race start driving there from Iman Danish, I would have to say. Hey?
Yeah, absolutely nice. This is the regular thing for Ilham to do. It's kind of a practice for him. Start from the back.
I'm starting to warm up to that idea. I've tried it in a couple of online lobby sessions, and actually it leads to a much more relaxing race experience, believe it or not. Yeah. And B, it does teach you racecraft, because you might be driving against drivers who are not as quick as you, but they're still going to be quite difficult to overtake. There's one car off there.
Said one.
Yeah, I'm not too sure who that was. Yeah. But that's very, very unfortunate. They're so easy to spin coming out of La Source. But Ilham Flabi is going to begin his march up towards the front of the field. It'll be interesting to see if he can get himself up towards the front. Another driver that he looks like he's going to be able to overtake now, that's Bobby Farid. They're going to go and try. He's going to go and try and slipstream. He goes to the inside, to the outside. He manages to get it on the inside, and he's going to have a perfect out-braking maneuver. That's the key thing with Ilham Halabi. He's always practicing his racecraft, not just his race pace. So while I couldn't help but join in to see a little bit of Carrera Cup action right now, I'm going to have to leave you guys to it. Enjoy the nice, wonderful singing Porsches as they run through the hills.
Yeah. Thanks, Max, for your thanks for dropping by, and we'll leave the viewers for total ASMR today.
To be honest with you, I wasn't even scheduled to be here, but when I heard it was Carrera Cup, I just couldn't help myself.
Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, we got an announcement tomorrow, so people stay tuned. Big announcement.
Stay tuned for that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
thanks, Max, for dropping by.
Yep. I will see you guys later. Bye for now.
All right. So thanks to Max today. He dropped in for a friendly hi, and we're gonna leave the stream running with the pure sounds of Porsche 911 GT3.
Ini Reh ya.
Kurus baik kurus.
Hi guys. Oh, ramai tak payah pit 3 orang tak pit.
Dia tak pit.
Iman pit tadi.
Semua
Rasanya wajib pit ni.
Oh, okey. Akunya iRacing crash juga tadi. Tak tahu kenapa. Tengah-tengah 24 ke 28 minit. Tak pernah crash hari ni. Hari ni pula crash.
Dia terlepas apa tak? Tengok event lock lah Windows.
Tak, dia SDK jadi gila, lepas tu freeze. iRacing freeze. Tak pernah.
Baik, Afiq. Afar. Afiq.
Oi, Afar apa jadi?
Malam ni ramai disconnect ah.
Aku pun tadi aku rasa problem dengan iRacing server sikit lah ni. Aku spectate pun kena ni disconnect ni, apa crash.
22 liter cukup lah. 20 liter pun cukup ni.
Ada yang tak pit, semua pit kan?
Wajib pit.
Abang Azril tadi apa terlanggar apa Nabil ni?
Oh.
Tak apa, selamat sampai ni. Ayah sampai.
Okay, thank you semua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Esok kita ada announcement. Okay, insyaAllah esok kita buat announcement tengah hari. Endurance yang bakal kita announce lah.
Nice.
So kita as you guys boleh aware kita pakai banyak pakai kereta ni, so kita akan gunakan kereta ni lah. Itu je lah yang tips apa teaser boleh bagi sikit. Esok
Kereta ni dulu dah mati.
Tak lama, tak sampai 2 hari, 1 hari, tak sampai 1 hari.
Tahu parit apa
Tak apa. Okay guys, thank you. Hari ni kita banyak nak testing je ni. So first lap tadi nampak okey. Ujung-ujung tu je lah last turn tadi kan. First tu ramai terhimpit sikit lah kan. Turn 1
Ciduk.
Okay, thank you semua.
Okay.
Good night.
Thank you. Terima kasih.